It's a lovely delight to know that you are always with us. Welcome to the program Road to EDO 2024, reaching you from the ITV platform. From Benin Network Center, my name is Daniel Praise Osedevame. As always, we've had this same guest. He's been on the show for a while now. And of course, he's joining us tonight again to extend the front line of the polity as the intrigues hitting towards 2024 is increasing. We have with us in the studio Paul Owoha Okungbowa. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Compliment of the season, by the way.
Thank you, same to you.
You look all traditional.
Well, it is just a change of attire.
Okay. All right, now take us through, Paul. Looking at the security architecture as the chief security officer of a state, if given the opportunity to govern those states, what will you do differently that others have not done?
First of all, Deba, I'm a young man, and my generation literally leans to a pattern of consummating knowledge. The only sad reality is that my generation has been so subverted that they can't bring up their God-given ideas and skill. My generation will not do it the ways that will erupt infecundity. My generation will always attempt to do it differently. Now, first of all, for the past 15 years, I've been studying and understudying the security issues as far as Edo State is concerned. Some time ago, I wrote to some persons in Edo State about the security challenge that will bedevil Edo in time because Edo is a transit state. And of course, the herdsmen saga was something that needed to also be literally, seriously checked because of the very extensive work of both the animals and the herders. And so I had postulated a long time ago that we can deploy technology to enhance our security. Security must not be boots alone. While I also will revert to boots, but I also believe that we can deploy technology. Now, here's what I have done, and I have also practicalized it. Every phone can literally serve the orbit for security and serve as a permanent security report system.
Every phone?
Every phone. Every phone. So what I did
Be it an Android phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially Android phones, but polyphonics, the other phones who are not Android phones can send codes, you know. Okay. Some years ago, I designed a portal. Mind you, I didn't study computer science. I use common sense in everything I do. Same way I designed a portal that UDSS paid me for 2 years and they used it. It's verifiable. You can go to UDSS and ask them. I designed a portal wherein I was able to link a software to a hardware. You know this changeover system, when light comes, it begins to blur in some houses or offices. It's indicating that there is light. So I connected the software that I built, which was a panic button on an Android phone, through the Cisco and every Cisco routers and indeed every other computer component. My ideas was I brought in tech guys. Like, this is me thinking in this direction. You are the tech head. Build this for me. To surprise you, we were able to do the following. Imagine if there was a possible bridge in your house. Instead of panicking, and of course, you know the police will not come, the vigilance will not come in time because of the bad roads or perhaps just lasciviousness on the part of security agencies. The first thing is to secure yourself. So instead of frightened, just press the button on your phone. It's like opening your app. You tap Facebook or you tap WhatsApp, you just tap the panic button. And automatically, the blaring system in your house will come on.
Automatically?
Automatically. I designed it. I experimented it. It's currently being reviewed in the university in London. I intend to use this in the wake of as campaigns will go on. And currently the application is not detecting crime before it happens. The application is not mapping hot zones. I mean, if you are indeed interested in the security of people and lives and property, you should know hot zones. You should know where crime can easily proliferate. So the moment that blurring system starts, let me revert back to the initial discussion. The same application will deploy SMSs to both the police, civil vigilantes, 5 or 4 friends of the families, the local health center in case it's a medical emergency. The moment it deploys this, simultaneously, the blaring system of your neighbor's house will be triggered. So imagine if all the houses were connected to that application and each of them have the hardware in their houses, the blaring system will go around. I put it to you that if you were a thief or an assailant, you too will be afraid and begin to scamper.
I wouldn't be in that position.
Good. So we deployed that, and we can safeguard our environment without even a gunshot fired. But we didn't stop there. I also proposed
so
that...
what happened to, if we have, because you're taking it from the technological point of view, what happened to the traditional way of securing the environment?
Let me quickly go there. First, after that happens, the drone triggers the local vigilantes. It also informs the local vigilante, because there is supposed to be like a watch unit in every local government, by my own rational thinking. That there should be a dashboard where this thing can give information that there's trouble in Deba's house. And the way we built it, the SMS will come to your phone that there's trouble in Deba's house, go for help. Now, while the local vigilantes are moving, we propose to have drones landed in high buildings all over the 18 local governments. The drones will also be triggered by that same software. The drones will move ahead. In a time frame of 3 to 5 minutes, the drone is already in that location through GPS. It calculates. Of course, you know, you can book a ride, and the ride
security is not cost-free. All this will cost a lot of money. So how do we achieve this?
That's the idea. That's the idea. It will not cost anything. It will cost anything.
So as a government, how will you achieve this?
First of all the government needs to do is to put both hardware and software in place. And of course, when you build such security architecture, if you have a private-public partnership, a lot of places will come in that want to own partnership with the hardware in houses, because you can levy such security. Imagine if you levy such security and it's as little as, let's say, 150 naira a month by a single room, or 500 naira by an entire building, or 1,000 naira for 4 flat apartments, 250 naira, per flat apartment. If you put that together and you multiply that by the number of houses that you could legislate from the House of Assembly to have this security, and then from there you begin to look at marketing same structure, because it's PPP to the 36 states of Nigeria. I calculated that we can generate 846 billion naira if we have the application running in 2 million homes every 12 months.
Annually.
That is almost 3 times the current budget of Edo State, just from security. So meaning there is wealth in insecurity. If you know how to translate the ideas that are resident in your heart to solve the problems of insecurity.
You know the concerns of many Nigerians. We've had cases where we see people come, talk very good like this. Beautiful idea, beautiful concept. But when they get to office, there seems to be one spirit that overtakes them. And they just kind of divert from what they wanted to do for the people. That
spirit is peculiar to the wealthy big men. Not to ordinary people like us.
You think so?
Not people like us who have been victims, whose houses are today not even secured. People like us who can afford police orderlies. People like us who are afraid. Not people like us. People like us are very concerned, and we are much in number. Those who can afford police orderlies everywhere, they are not bothered. You can't even get to such people if you were to be a criminal. So this is particular to me. It is not that I want to make beautiful statements. It is that I want to solve problems for myself, first of all. We have to be selfish in this regard. I cannot allow myself to be killed like a chicken. I must begin to work within the circumference of my thought process on how to enhance security. It goes beyond local vigilante. By the way, the local vigilante can be properly kitted, well-funded, and well-trained to run this thing in a digital way. Imagine if we're all reporting crimes, Deba. Imagine, for example, the 750 to 700 million deployed every month in Edo State for security votes. Imagine if you were having a share of that money, wouldn't you be reporting crime? Imagine, for example, as a governor, I legislate that every house should have a CCTV camera. And then your houses are mounted with one CCTV camera each that is powered by solar. If your camera reports a crime, you are entitled to a portion of that security vote. Isn't that a smarter way to deploy security and make everybody participate in security?
And insecurity issue will now be a thing of the past.
The truth is, for any person to incubate the thought of coming to Edo to perpetrate crime, he knows that before he runs through a street, 5 or 10 cameras will have him. And then the way we intend to design
workable cameras.
Yes, workable cameras. The way we intend to design our ideas is such that there is an immediate report. See, you cannot be in Edo State if I'm governor by the will of the masses. And then come into Edo with stolen vehicles to come and perpetrate crime and leave. Because every car plate can be auto-booted. And then there might be an auto-response if you have metal detectors. Even the idea of mounting streets or asking people to come and renew your papers, all I just need is just mount metal detectors that can go with the sequencing of the plate numbers, and then they just report immediately. You don't have to move a muscle. You will get an SMS or a call from the call center asking that your vehicle be impounded if you don't go do this now. Imagine if you were an assailant and you move into Edo State, and then we're able to catalog every car plate in Edo State into a security system, an application that knows every vehicle that goes in and out, especially all the exit points in Edo. These are strategy. These are ideas. If we deploy every landlord to have CCTV cameras in front of their houses, I'm talking about major roads and street roads, I will not go and commit crime in such an environment because
hold on. Let me pause you a little. I just thought of this now. Most cases, some security structures, they are not answerable to the executive governor. There are times they will tell you they have to take orders from Abuja or take orders from above. So how do you now balance all this?
If you listen carefully to what I was trying to analyze DPO, I never even spoke about the Nigerian police. Yes, I didn't talk about the Nigerian police.
So you're not going to work with them?
This security platform can work with the Nigerian police, but does not rely on the Nigerian police. If you make the security a security system that is very responsive, swift, well-kitted, well-furnished, it will even lighten the burden and the workload of the police. I am saying that the police is overwhelmed. We can deploy that security tactics to ensure that the streets are safe.
Okay.
The plutocrats and aristocrats and the wealthy and the big names are taking the police off the masses.
Okay, let me quickly take you to Rivers State now. There have been lots of issues happening there. The Godfather regime and all that playing out. We saw how about 26 lawmakers left, and 4 lawmakers actually sat down to give a nod to the state budget and all that. And well, recently, the 26 of them, they are just meeting somewhere, having their sitting. Now, somebody actually said something one time that this issue has happened before in Edo State. We can trace it to the current governor, where we had few persons in the house and it thrived. Now, as a sitting governor, will you have this kind of issue, and how can you manage it? If given the opportunity, crisis will certainly come up. Well,
first of all, it is worthy of note to know that he who must come to equity must come with clean hands. There is an adage in Benin, he doesn't eat sacrifice, so he will not allow those that eat sacrifice. If I am a governor who is untainted, it will be difficult for you to hold me to ransom. But I know that when you insist on the right things being done, people will naturally want to hold you to ransom. The governor you impeach or the governor you send out of office is the one that is guilty of something. You have to, he who must allege, he must prove. However, if we revert back to what's happening in Rivers State just now, this for me is just a show of shame for the entire Nigeria. It's an indication that our democracy is getting it needs to be understudied. They repackaged democracy. Democracy is now taking a lot of coloration in Nigeria. And for me, this is a political model that stemmed from Edo State. Edo State seemed to be a knowledge house, a knowledge base. Once upon a time, a governor in Edo State declared that the House of Assembly needed to be renovated. Well, it didn't need renovation. It was political tactics. Once upon a time, another governor in Edo State removed the roof of the House of Assembly. All these are political tactics for those who seek to secure a political hegemony.
And you're not going to follow suit.
Deba, I'm a young man. I have so much years by God's grace to still ply the streets of Edo. And I do not have properties anywhere across the length and breadth of Nigeria. I only have a land that I have not even developed in Benin. And everything I have built and labored for is here. Why do you think I will make a mess of this place and then run to where? You see, people like us who do not have political history, political background, are your best bets because we are as ordinary as you are. We are coming to government because we are not happy with the way things are going, and we feel and know that we can do it better. So naturally speaking, my brother, I intend to be that governor who doesn't just go to government house but keeps his faith. I believe in heaven and hell, my brother. Let me make it that way. And very importantly, I can't steal from the people, and that's why I propose that the first thing I shall do is to grant local government financial autonomy. You see, the war of attribution will probably be at local government level and those who have interest, because there has to be monitoring of the expenditures that go to local government. If you
so you outrightly, as a governor, take your hands off the operations in the local government, at the local government level?
My brother, before now, the third tier of government was designed to bring development to the grassroots. It is unfortunate that so many years ago, governors in Edo redefined it. They turned local government to political structures. The idea of going for local government is that you have a manifesto. What we have today is literally crowning. That you cannot even beat them in a courtroom. It's crowning. If I'm governor by God's grace and by the collective will of the people, my party will lose election if they don't have popular candidates. I don't even have the brain for rigging elections or for masterminding the process of elections. And I always say this, if I'm governor, for example, I will be declaring what's available in states every month. I do not intend to steal it. Deba, I've seen dubious money, I didn't touch it. I can prove to you by myself, for myself, that I have a character of living without touching monies that do not belong to me. And I feel like it is not whether or not the monies I've seen are not as huge as the ones you see in government. It is that he who is faithful in little, I mean faithful in a lot. I sometimes ask myself, billions, billions, billions. What are you doing with them? Because at the point of your demise from this earth, you're not taking a dime out. When I took my father to the hospital, when he passed on, the only thing that I took back from him was his boxers and singlet. If he had a billionaire stashed in his account, he had no claim to it anymore. We have a selfish mentality in this part of the world where we are saving for generations that are even unborn. Meanwhile, the generations that are even unborn have the capacity to do it better than you if only you lay proper templates for them to glide. I do not expect that my children will do as I have done. My expectation is that they will do better than I have done. They may not have gotten copious results if I get copious results, but they will get satisfactory results.
Okay.
For me, that's the aim of leadership.
All right, well, if you're just tuning in, it's still Road to EDO 2024, reaching you live from the ITV network. We still have with us in the studio Paul Walker Okunboa, who is running on the platform of the YPP. Still with us here in the studio. Now, let's quickly talk about this. As time is not always our friend on the show, politics is a game of number. And to an extent, some persons are of the opinion that you have a good idea, you have beautiful ideologies, but you're running on a platform that is not so popular as it were. YPP. Are you sure you are on the right track?
The YPP actually stands for Young Progressive Party. I just needed to chip that in, not to seem like we're dancing around the acronym without looking at the full nomenclature of the party. The YPP is not as small as you may think it is. The YPP has 22 House of Assembly, House of Rep members. Very recently, a senator defected from the YPP who was a senator to the party, the leading party, of course. But whatever it was, he won on the platform of the YPP. And I have always said, and I keep saying that political histories, all the history of elections are not cast of stones. There will come a time a candidate will come in and redefine the process. It was never really about the candidate in person. It could be the message the candidate carried. Messages are powerful. You and I are living witnesses to the fact that the Labour Party was some few months ago an existing name, just a nomenclature politically. But today it's a third tier, if we're to look at it that way. And it's all courtesy the effort of one single man. Not the effort of the party heads in Edo or outside Edo. One single man called Peter Gregory Obi. And then we're saying that we will keep talking to young people. Our intention is to win this election by a margin of 1 million votes. My generation is constitute the highest voters. My generation for the first time will vote against their fathers because their fathers have not done it any better. My generation can relate with the things I'm saying, and my generation will tell you if these things he's saying are backed up with government policies, life will be better. But let me also shock you. Why is it that my father's generation, who doesn't want to see the good in my generation, are perhaps worse than my generation in terms of greed? Do you know that ex-serving governors, deputies are entitled to houses to the tune of 200 million, 100 million in their choice locations on taxpayers? Are you also aware that they get personal police, orderlies, cooks on taxpayers for life? Somebody amended the Pensions Act to do that. And it was swiftly given attention because it benefits the plutocrats, the big names. It doesn't benefit the masses. What morality is there that after you served the people, of course you have made money from the process. Let's not kid ourselves. And then you're still collecting so much from the people. What morality is there, my brother? What morality is there that somebody who is currently serving as a senator and was one-time governor is still collecting such huge ESTA codes? And then he's still getting ESTA codes as a serving senator. And then the people say, Chair, our leader is our leader. Do you know or even understand what leadership is? Leadership is selflessness. Selflessness. The ability for you to let go that which is appropriated to you and look at the larger picture. People are suffering. People are suffering. As we speak just now, not very many homes can have swift Christmas and New Year. Rice just now has become the food for the wealthy. Gari has gone up. Beans have gone up. Oil has gone up. Among these people, who has ever thought that, how about that person whose salary is 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, how are they living life? Okay. How about those that don't even have the job?
So how will you now impact the people? Will you reduce costs of governance if you get the opportunity?
Do you know one other thing I said? In my document that I intend to engage the people with, I have said before that government should be very intentional about policies. One of those is price control. Our government literally doesn't really give a flying F about price control. Almost everything is on the free fall. You can decide today to bring this thing from Aba or China and sell it at any price you like. If we have morality and if we are concerned about the people, how come a bag of rice in Lagos with a distance that is not as much as you will say is more expensive than a bag of rice in Benin? What is happening to the? Do you know there are a lot of unspoken like Jesus changing hands in the process, and then the poor man and his children pays the price? See, I believe the structure of governance needs to be given very conspicuous attention by young people. Young people should know that it's their lives that is wasting. See, the young man, the young guy who was 10 years old when the former governor of Edo State was inaugurated, Governor Adams Oshiomhole, is currently 17 going to 18. Can an 18-year-old young person today tell you that life is good? I like to make living examples, like life examples. Because what we intend to bring on board is 10 years after our reign as government, you will say today Edo's wealth was contingent on the ideas that that young man put on ground. And these ideas are translating to wealth.
Now, in Edo State, because we need to leave in few minutes, in Edo State, internally generated revenue seems to be a kind of a serious issue, so there are a lot of complaints from the people. Well, you won't take that away from governments generating fund internally. It's part of government. Will you shy away from some of those things?
There is no country or any state that can run without tax. But you must put a face to the taxes. There is multiple taxation going on in Edo State. I got an invitation from some group of persons that I perceive to be fraud with a lot of government documents asking me to pay taxes, and I was like, give me the phone number of your commissioner or the word of your ministry. They ran away. There are a lot of uncontrolled taxes here and there. And I believe, for example, putting up programs like land use charge is at the detriment of the poor people, because the landlords will raise the rent. As we speak just now, the cost of renting houses in Benin and Edo in general has gone up the roof. Who is sitting down with landlords to say what is happening? Because the truth is this, the landlords are looking at the price of cement and the price of every other commodity in the market. So who is deliberately trying to go into production? Because I think Edo should get ready to make money from suffering. You see, when there's darkness, you can provide light, even if you just shining your teeth, so long as it's white.
Okay.
If Edo gets ready for wealth creation, Edo will not be lamenting. Edo's GDP will be gliding. Edo will bask in the euphoria of wealth.
Well, we have 1 minute to leave. The issue of power is a problem, serious problem. Do you think you have the capacity to address the issue of power?
Electricity?
Yes, sure.
My brother, let's be frank. Very recently, the current state governor started a power project. What people like me will be looking at is this: expanding on the possibility of such, and looking at other partnerships that could make more available heads. There is no crime if we have a turbine that supplies light. There is no crime if we have you have a solar farm that supplies light. People are willing and ready to invest in electricity if government would make the policy so easy for them to come in. There are people who will be interested in trapping sun in some particular region with whatever is available and provide light for the people. You see, we can auto-generate whatever it is that hurts us and turn it into our good. Expanding on the Oshiomhole Power Project, understanding the framework of how it was set up in the first state.
Okay.
In the first instance, you have to understand how it was set up.
Okay, now
so then begin to work on expansions.
Now, we need to go, but however, there are concerns now. You have a business place that was shut down, kind of, and some persons are of the opinion that those working with you were just relieved of their employment, just like that. I would like us to quickly address that issue before we leave.
But I do not have a business place that was shut down.
Okay.
I like the fact that the youngest person on this reason, of course, I'm not a nobody particularly, is going to generate a lot of ideas, a lot of talk.
The restaurant opposite Uniben now, what happened to it?
My brother, I was spending more than 2 million every month on diesel. I was spending hell on the different taxes, waste management that was coming. And when I asked the management of the place, the profit margin was not, I wasn't in business. So what I did was to restructure the place. The place is currently functioning as an event center where we have less expenditure. I mean, people walk into an eatery and expect that you put on diesel to run ACs compared to just buy one burger. I was experiencing those, and I have written to NEPA. I have bought transformers, bought cables to trap in the Uniben light to the place. But till tomorrow, NEPA still hasn't lit up the place.
Okay, Paul, this is how far we can go. We'd like to extend the front line of some of these burning issues, as we'll be having you in a subsequent edition. We'll be seeing you on the next one. My name is Daniel Praise. Osedeba, do you have yourself a blessed weekend ahead, and bye for now.